Hola, hola mi gente. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Vanity B, and this is a space where, first of all, it's a safe space, but this is just a space where we discuss mindset, faith, spirituality, inner child healing, and womanhood. So if any of that sounds good to you, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and join us if you find my channel and this video helpful. So, I was thinking about what I was going to title this, and it's going to be how to level up spiritually in 2025. So I do have some of my notes here, so I'm gonna just jump right in. But the main reason I really wanted to create this video was because I don't know about anybody else, but scrolling on my For You page, seeing a lot of the content that's being created these days about like leveling up and things of that sort. We all heard of sprinkle. We all heard of Share 7, and a lot more people, are making content about leveling up. But I'm seeing a lot of videos on leveling up in the 3D aspect, in the flesh aspect, talking about, improving your hair, improving your makeup, your style, your hobbies, money wise, leveling up in careers and all that stuff, which that's fine. However, that's not my channel. So I was just thinking, even to level up in that sense, you need a certain mindset so that you can make those changes. But not only that, I'm seeing a lot more people tapping into their spiritual practices. I see a lot more people waking up to the truth and understanding like we've been deceived and we're innately in a simulation, in the matrix. But I have some tips that I think I want to share with a lot of people about getting to a point where you are getting enlightenment and you're starting to understand how to navigate the spiritual realm and navigate it while being here in the physical realm, in the 3D. So now I'm gonna do it body, mind, and spirit. And I'm gonna try to go fast because I do have a list, but I think everything that I have listed here is very important to understand that needs implemented when you're trying to level up spiritually and get to a point where you can trust yourself. So I'm doing it backwards because one, for you to like really tap in, you would need to tap into your spirit, understand who the spirit is within, what the spiritual realm is, and then rewiring that mindset that then influences the body and the physical. However, when we're talking about leveling up, you're going to want to do it backwards. You're going to want to, one, detox this physical avatar, this body, this unit that we have, so that you can operate at optimum efficiency when you're trying to pray, when you're trying to hear from God, when you're trying to reprogram your mindset. And I'm going to explain why. So, with the body, this body, it is one that, of course, it dies. It will eventually deplete and be left here on earth to rot and then be given right back into the dirt, into earth. However, we're given this body here so that we can experience earth, experience this realm with all of our senses. We don't realize it, maybe some do, but a lot of people don't realize how much their body is compromised on a day-to-day basis just from simply living here in the United States. We're talking diet, we're talking water, we're talking, air pollution, we're talking about just lack of exercise, hormonal imbalance, and the type of foods that we're putting into our body that's making our body acidic. So the first one I wanted to talk about was fasting and detoxing. Now, I know when people hear this, they just think about fasting just being like a taboo spiritual thing. But let me tell you something. When you're getting prepared to completely transform your body so that one, when you start working on your mindset and when you start tapping in spiritually, you're going to need to rid and detox the body of all the things that are keeping you in a fog. The mind and the gut go hand in hand. This is why biblically we're told to fast. But not only that, when you're fasting, you're getting enlightenment and the brain fog is clearing when you're trying to tap in. Another thing that I put hand in hand with the fasting is parasite cleansing. Now I'm going to do a whole separate video on parasite cleansing because to me it is probably one of the most eye-opening things I have ever learned about. I've heard about parasites. I've tried a parasite cleanse in the past so many times, and this is not one of those trending videos that I'm gonna make like, oh, you should detox from parasites and get rid of them because everybody's doing it. No, there's a significance as to why you should remove parasites from your body. I'm gonna just simplify it this way. We can look at parasites as the physical manifestation of demonic entities that live within us, and we are its hosts. They are hosting and living off of our bodies. When you start to understand the influence that parasites have by living within us, you'll understand a lot of behaviors, a lot of thought processes, a lot of cravings, even promiscuous behaviors in some people can be attributed to parasites. Parasites live in our bodies. The more that we feed them sugar, the more that we feed them meat and all of these acidic foods and processed foods, they're loving it, but it's doing something to our bodies where it's completely, taking out our pH balance is not, it is not alkaline, it is acidic. And not only that, it's making us unknowingly making us crave and eat the things that are slowly killing us, including sugar. One of the main things I think that we as a collective need to completely cut out of our diet is sugar. When you start reading nutrition packets and you start understanding what's sugar, total sugars, and then what the added sugar is, you'll start understanding that a lot of this stuff is not natural food. A lot of this stuff is not natural sugars. You get natural sugars from like fruits and things of that sort. However, they're putting actually white sugar and the sugar that kills all of us into everything. And it's making us addicted. You think you're not addicted? Cut all sugar out of your diet for 1 week and see how you start withdrawing. Now again, before I even go even deeper, because the first thing I really wanted to make a point on is your mindset. You have to be, not even mindset, just rewiring it, but just making the decision where enough is enough, where you're tired of your own BS to the point where regardless of how uncomfortable leveling up spiritually or even the physical aspect, you got to be tired enough where you're like, I'm done with where I'm at and what I continuously keep allowing myself to do, that no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how inconvenient, no matter how miserable the process may be, I understand that it's going to benefit me in the long run. And I'm making a decision. I am deciding right now, I am going to do this so that I can reap the benefits in the long run. And let me tell you that the benefits are going to be astronomical. I'm in the process of doing a parasite cleanse. I've done a lot of the mindset, reprogramming and leveling up. Same thing with the spirit part, but I've also done a lot when it comes down to my body, that I've seen just significant differences where I can get intellectual downloads. I can hear God more clearly. My intuition is much more sharper and precise than it ever has been before. It's just most recently where I've made the decision, no matter what, I am sticking to this and I am cleansing of parasites, just because the information that I came into was just like, this makes all the sense in the world. I understand why certain behaviors are very, very common within most people. It's not just them. It is also the entities that are living in them, that are manifested here in the actual physical, that's influencing your behavior. So another video will be done on that. But when you're detoxing, we're also talking about the fasting process. You have to allow your body to get rid of the junk and the stuff that's within your gut, because your gut and your mind correlation, we are not taught this stuff in school. The way that your gut, your intestines, the colon area, all of this influences our mind and our thought process. And not only that, the receptors within us that allow us to hear those intuitive downloads, that intellectual realm of information, it is compromised when we have waste stuck in our body, when we are constantly eating on a day-to-day basis without taking any breaks. That does not give our body enough time to completely rid it. Our gut, our intestines, all of that is an incinerator of the body. The more that you're eating and the more bad food that you're eating, you are literally killing the body and slowing down the mind, and you cannot think straight. and I don't care what anybody says, you cannot think straight when your gut is compromised. A lot of people know when they go to the bathroom, they can think much more clearly because the two are linked. Okay, next, before you do any of that stuff, you have to open your lymphatic drainage system. Now, I'm not saying when you're taking the steps to doing this stuff, you're not jumping full forge. One, we're talking eating clean foods. You have to clean up your diet. I know it's been a talk for years about the vegan community, and people talking about we shouldn't be eating meat. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I don't eat meat. I still do, and I very much don't want to. Right now, I am on a no meat eating journey because I'm trying to completely detox and completely get rid of parasites. Like, no matter what it takes, I've made the decision, I'm doing this. And I should mention, again, I'm going to go into more detail in another video, but to fully do this, you're going to need to give yourself time to do the full process. It takes about like 3 months to do this the right way, because these things lay eggs. They will try whatever they need to do. When they see that you're ridding your body from it, they'll start peeing in you, which will cause you to feel really sick, which will cause you to go back to eating what you used to eat before, and then the symptoms will go away. But if that doesn't sound like withdrawal to anything else, I don't know how else to explain it. However, you're gonna need to do this for at least 3 months, to a point where you're killing the actual parasites, and then their larvae and any eggs that they may lay, in the process of still trying to keep their lineage alive within you. So again, I'll do another video explaining all that, but I promise you, the moment you start doing these things, you're gonna see elevation in just your clarity and your intuition, and it will take your spiritual practices to a deeper level when it comes down to praying and trying to hear divinely. So one, you got to open up your lymphatic drainage system. You cannot just go full forge, completely detoxing, completely, trying to get rid of these parasitic entities within your body without opening up the drainage systems in your body, your kidneys, your liver, the organs that were in our body or were created in our bodies to completely dispel the waste. You need to make sure that you are functioning at optimum efficiency when you're starting to do this stuff. Make sure you are healthy. Take your time, learn about this stuff. Go doing your research so that you have the right tools and the right mindset when you're starting to make this decision. I've done so much research on everything that I'm telling you that I'm just at a place now where I know what I need to do. I don't need nobody to tell me. I don't need, to research anymore. I know what I need to do, and I know what I've done, that I've seen just a great amount of benefits when it comes down to my spirituality, when it comes down to my intellect, when it comes down to me connecting to the spirit. So make sure that you're opening up those lymphatic drainage systems. Make sure that you're taking your time, going to the sauna if you have to, opening up your pores, making sure that you're detoxing your skin, making sure that you're going to the gym. Make sure that you are going to the gym. I'm not even going to spend too much time on that. If you're not being active, if you're not staying fit or healthy, I promise you, by the time that you become older, 60s, 70s, you do not want to be a crinkly old person who cannot move, who cannot walk. If you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Move your bodies. Move your bodies. We should, if at the very bare minimum, you should be walking. You should be getting up and moving your body and stretching. You do not want to be stiff. You do not want to allow your body to be in such a stagnant state where you're just allowing disease to accumulate and build up in the body, to the point where when those diseases end up hitting you, where the side effects are too big and too much, where you're going to the doctor and now they're putting you on medication, you can avoid so many symptoms, so many sicknesses, just from moving your body. Moving your body and eating. Make sure you are hydrating your body as well. Make sure you are drinking water with salt. I usually use Celtic salt inside of my water, but you need to hydrate the body. The body is 70% water. You're going to need you're gonna need to hydrate those organs within you so that you're functioning at optimum efficiency. You're gonna want to stay hydrated. Water holds memory. Water is the oldest living thing on the planet. It is the earth is mostly made up of water. We need water. Another thing, we need sun. Go outside and spend time in the sun, even if it's for 15 to 20 minutes a day. I had got all my blood work done in August and I found out I was vitamin D deficient. I've always heard about people being vitamin D deficient and I didn't understand like how important it was until my doctor explained to me what side effects happen when you're vitamin D deficient. Depression. There's all sorts of like mental things that are associated with people who are vitamin D deficient. I started taking a supplement, but not only that, I'm the type of I do not want to rely on medication all my life. So if I see that there's a problem within me and if I'm on any type of supplement, I want to know how can I gain those nutritions or whatever I'm lacking in the most natural way. So I started going out like into the sun. Like when I'm out driving, I have my sunroof on, and if I'm standing outside and it's just like the sun is out shining, even if it's cold, I try to just stand there and just close my eyes and take it all in as long as I can. Even if it's for 2 to 3 minutes to 5 minutes, I'll sit there. If it's warm enough, like today, not today, I didn't go walking, but today it's like 40 degrees outside and it's the middle of winter. Tomorrow's gonna be like 27. However, if today's actually my stretching day and tomorrow I'll go back to the gym. But if today was a workout day for me, I would have went and walked the trail just so that I can breathe the air. We need water, we need sun. We're like plants. Make sure that you're doing all these things so that your body is functioning at optimum efficiency. We are the most high-tech piece of technology that was ever created. This isn't the video for that, but if we understood just how important it is to, one, make sure our DNA, our programming, our electromagnetic field is up there, is working efficiently, then we have a very good clue on how to navigate this physical realm. But again, we are literally fed the poison. We are literally seeing chemtrails in the air where they're spraying stuff that makes us breathe it in and we're getting sick. It alters our mind, you know, getting injected with things. We are so off balance with our body that we are not connected to earth and the elements of the earth that we were created to actually be like. So once you start understanding like every choice you're making when it comes down to your health is going to affect you, just start little by little, day by day. Just start looking at your labels of what you're eating. Start looking at your habits, how often you're eating, how often you're snacking, how often you are not working out, or how often you are working out and maybe you should increase it. Start there. Start there. Start doing your research on how these things affect you physically, mentally, and spiritually as well, and you'll get a better insight on how important it is. Like literally how important it is. Another thing is detaching from the digital world. Again, I mentioned this in my last video. It's ironic I'm even mentioning it because I'm creating a video about it. We're always on the internet. We're always on our phones. Get some blue light blocking glasses, or get a piece of shungite and keep it on your devices. These devices are constantly they're throwing out radiation at us all the time. We sleep in the bed with them next to us. We're addicted to them. We're addicted to the dopamine hits that we get from the phones. That we need to understand the moment that we are detaching, we're going to feel some resistance. We're in such a habitual loop when it comes down to these phones, and I am guilty of it. I know it. However, I realize the days and the times that I set apart for putting my phone away and just simply focusing on the present moment and focusing on the tasks that are needed to get done, I feel so much better. I feel so much better. I realize I grab my phone when I am looking for that hit of dopamine. When I'm in boredom, do something else. Pray, read, be in the moment. Do something else. Take time to completely detach from digital devices. People are so out of touch with the real world, with reality. Go grounding. Take your shoes off. Touch some grass. Be outdoors. We need that. We need that. We need that. We need that. Another thing, because of everything else I mentioned, now men too, but specifically for women, we need to balance our hormones. Whoa. So many of our issues as women, we don't realize are because our hormones are completely imbalanced. The testosterone levels in a lot more women are going up. A lot of these women are breaking out. I definitely had issues with my acne. It wasn't until I started to understand something's going on with my hormones. I got my blood work done in August. When I got my blood work done, I started to notice my hormones were imbalanced. One of the herbs and teas will absolutely start balancing your hormone. Fennel seed, spearmint tea. There's, fenugreek also can be added into there. There's so many different herbs out there. Do research. Ask your doctor to run a blood panel on you so that you can see the levels in your blood and understand what you are deficient in, what you're overly producing, and what you need. When you start balancing your hormones, heal your gut, and start going to the gym, start working out, just that alone, these things will make the physical body feel so much better. So much better. We are fed poison all the time. Since we were young, we are fed the bad habits of, technology, social media, and just like lounging without doing anything, not moving. We need to get out of that, which I'm gonna say second, your mindset. We need to change our mindset. Mindset is everything. So our mindset, our emotion, and our thoughts, our soul. So our soul is our mind and our emotions that create, and our will. It creates our soul. One, your thoughts are not your own. This isn't the video to explain all this, but this is just understanding. You need to be able to cultivate awareness and cultivate understanding what consciousness is. The awareness, that voice within you, is the spirit. The Bible tells us that the flesh is the enemy and that the spirit is within us. If we're the flesh and we have the spirit, then are we not both? I've had this conversation and this debate with so many people, and I come to the conclusion where I'm going to go with my own instincts and my own understanding, because obviously we are flesh, we are spirit, ye are gods. It is us. We are the enemy, and we are the people who's going to be able to completely combat that. You have to have enough self-discipline and enough willpower to be able to implement the change that you want. When you start taking control of your mind, and when I say control of your mind, you start bringing that awareness, the spirit within you, to the forefront. Start understanding what consciousness is, being conscious. We have a subconscious mind and we have a conscious mind. Our body and our everyday habits and everything that we do is usually coming from the subconscious mind. It's on a habitual loop. But for you to even change those habitual loops, those daily habits that are already programmed, you need to tap into the conscious mind, which means you're going to have to do something that you're not used to doing right now. That's going to be so hard for the next couple months. And even if you fall off one day, you need to get back up and try it again every single day until it becomes your natural state. You are not your thoughts. There's a difference between thoughts and thinking. There's a difference between awareness and focus. Awareness, attention, and focus. Again, these are videos that I will probably be creating later down the line so that people can get a better understanding of it. However, when you start understanding when certain negative thoughts flow into your head, there is a quantum field all around us. It is literally, I cannot put it into lamest terms because it took me years of reading books on it, watching videos on it, for me to even understand the terminology. However, there is a quantum field, which is the unseen realm, the spiritual realm that is affected by everybody involved, one collective consciousness. People are having thoughts and thinking all day long. Thoughts will drop into our head on a moment-to-moment basis. We will sit there and watch a movie or an ad, walk away, an ad for pizza, let's say, walk away dealing with our children or whatever, and be like, dang, I really want some pizza. You just think it's your craving and you don't realize something externally that was not yours entered the mind, and now you're identifying with it. Think about your thoughts. Think about your thoughts. Another thing with thinking about your thoughts is your emotions. Your emotions and your triggers will always tell you where your mind is at. I realized this years ago, made an old video about this, when I realized it is you. It's what you dwell on, what you focus on. Again, thoughts and thinking are two completely different things. You can get a negative thought. Okay, you have to become the awareness in your mind and observe that thought and be like, where did this thought come from? Why is it here? And what's its purpose? Let it flow by. The moment you do not tap into your awareness and you allow that thought to turn into thinking, you start to make it your own. If it is a negative thought, you're going to have negative emotions. A negative emotion should only last about like 15 to 20 seconds or something like that. Anything prolonged is you giving it your awareness and your energy, and now you're making it yours. That is going to screw us up every time. If we don't get control of our minds, we can't get control of the body. How many people say, oh, I'm going to be done eating junk food. I'm not eating fast food anymore. You made that decision with your mind. You pass by Popeyes and you're like, damn, that smells good. I want some Popeyes. You pull in and you get some Popeyes. That is your body. That is your avatar. That is the unit, the flesh, thinking for you. The subconscious mind, it just automatically on autopilot, you're just going to pull in. Until you get a good grasp of that behavior and understand how you're influencing your bad habits and why your life is the way it is, you're not going to understand how important it is. When we're talking about the emotions and all that, the inner child work, the triggers, regulating your nervous system. Whole nother video, I'm gonna talk about that one. Your nervous system can be altered by many things that are outside of your control. You're giving power to those things that are not you. You cannot allow people's behaviors or actions or things that you're seeing on the external world to influence your emotions so bad where your nervous system is shocked. Women especially, we are so dysregulated with our emotional nervous system that it does in turn affect our hormones, which is another reason why so many women, their hormones are imbalanced. Cortisol levels go up, fear and anxiety. How many people are on anxiety meds and depression meds here in the US? We need to get off the drugs. We need to get off the drugs. We need to realize that pharmaceuticals are just a band-aid. If you're not dealing with the internal situation and understanding why that behavior keeps happening and taking the initiative to do the work, again, I said this is not going to be an easy thing to do, but if you're wanting to level up mentally and spiritually, you need to take all these things into account, because it is not an easy task. But when you want something and you really know that the benefits will outweigh the uncomfortability that you will do for, it's a long period of time when you're in it, but when you're long in life and you realize how much you've improved, that time that you spent on there was nothing. And it will probably be one of the best investments you ever did, was working on yourself, on your body, on your mind, and on your spirit. Our emotions are chemical reactions into the body. We're literally influencing how we feel and how it affects us through the chemicals that are being released within the body. It's a pharmaceutical within our body already. And if you can think about a trigger or see a trigger where it allows your nervous system to be crashed, you can also think about a solution and allow your body to regulate itself and release other chemicals. When we're talking about serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine, there are natural ways to release these things in our bodies, but we have to be intentional when we're doing our daily, mantras or journaling or going outside to get that sun, the foods that we're eating, and when we're spending time with ourselves so that we can regulate. Get yourselves out of environments that are causing your nervous system to be shocked and causing your thoughts to spiral. Get a grasp on it. Get away from people. Get away from jobs. Get away from anything that is hindering your level up, your evolution when it comes down to this. Get rid of it and start replacing it. The only way that you can replace a habit or stop a bad habit, is to replace it with a good one. So when we're talking about regulating the nervous system, there's more to it. You're going to want to do that work. Go to therapy. Start journaling. Start healing the inner child. I will be making an updated version on healing the inner child. You're going to want to understand, why are you the way you are? Why are you programmed the way that you are programmed? We're going to have to start rewiring those neural pathways and making new habits and making new habits in the way that we're thinking. We're getting to a point where we're too old to be blaming anybody else around us for our issues. Nobody else is the problem. I don't care if it's a spouse, your parent, your sibling, your children. You are the problem. You're always the problem. It is nobody's fault but yours. So until you understand that concept, that everybody else is just a reflection of yourself and you need to go inside and figure out what the hell is wrong with you, you will not end up anywhere better. You need to do the work. You need to understand, what are your triggers? Why are they your triggers? You need to understand, what are your beliefs? Why do you believe that about the world and about yourself? Start reprogramming. Again, and how do you program a child's subconscious mind? There's 3 ways that you program a subconscious mind. That's with repetition, that's with symbols, and that's with, I'm going to say, experiences. It's not just trauma. It could be trauma, or it could be significant happiness, core memories. You're going to want to start implementing these things. Repetition, repetition, repetition. You're going to have to repeatedly choose the good food. You're going to have to repeatedly choose going to the gym. You're going to have to repeatedly start pinpointing when your emotions shift because of a trigger, and bring it back to your awareness, and tell yourself the things that are going to benefit you, not hinder you. It is your job. You are an adult. And even if you're not an adult, you're a teenager, it's best that you learn these practices now, so that you have a better chance at being the most well-functioning adult in the long run. If you can conquer the body and the mind, you are going to be able to conquer the spirit. That's why they say that the flesh is the enemy, because if you don't know how to control or reprogram this animalistic nature of ourselves, it's going to win every time. It's going to win every time. We're always going to fall in the pit of choosing what the flesh is showing us until you get control of your mind. The mind is the 4D. It is our imagination. This is the 3D, our flesh. When we close our eyes, when we're having thoughts, when we're in our imagination, that is the 4D. The 5D is the quantum field. Whatever goes on in the 4D inside your imagination will affect the quantum field. It will affect the spiritual realm. Anything that happens here in the physical will always happen in the spiritual first. So while we're influencing the spiritual realm, the quantum field, which is that matter, those particles that we cannot see, which is why it's called the unseen, then we will see it manifesting into our lives. We will see behaviors changing. We will see more money flowing into our lives. We will see our bodies transforming, which will then improve your self-concept, improve the way that you see and think about yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. So if you're wanting to get to that point, work on yourself. Start working on yourself and asking yourself, why am I the way that I am? Why? Why do I do the things that I do? And why do I allow it to destroy my life? Why do I choose the people that I choose when they're constantly showing me how they feel about me? That's because you feel that way about yourself. And until you're tired of your own BS, nothing's going to change. Again, so let me make sure. Reprogramming, outside world, all that. I'm just going to go ahead into the spirit part. The inner you. If you're wanting to tap in to that spiritual realm, if you're wanting to get more intellectual downloads, if you're wanting to tap in and get closer to God, you have to understand that God is within you. You need to silence the world. This goes back to, getting rid of the digital phones and everything that has to do with a device. Silence. We don't need all of these other things that people promote. And I'm not, to each its own. People find spirituality in their own way. If I told you the path that I took from 7-8 years ago to now, I was into everything. I went down every path that I possibly could go down until I was like, first of all, I'm tired of going to other people for answers that I'm still gonna have questions about. Like, your answer did not answer my question, it just gave me more questions. And seeking validation or understanding in this about spiritual things from so many people. They could be in the same community. I realize everybody is not on the same wavelength. You are responsible for your own life and your own belief system and how you practice any spiritual practice. But the main thing that I'm going to even put down here is we need to go into silence. Sit still and know I am God. You need to be in the silence. When you detach from everything that's in this physical realm, in this 3D world, and you go within, you can sit in the silence. Allow those thoughts to come through. Like I said, your thoughts are not your own. They will come and they will go, but you have to understand they are not your own. Observe them. Understand. I'm aware the consciousness comes to play. I'm aware that this thought is here, but I don't resonate with it. Let it pass. Don't give it too much attention. Do not focus on something that you don't want to see in your life. You need to start meditating. Meditating is a way of going within and connecting to that spiritual realm, into the quantum field, so that you can get a better grasp of your mind and get better understanding. Your intuition will start to peak. As for a woman's intuition, never disregard those hunches. There is a difference between intuition and a fantasy or a fear thing. Your intuition is your intuition. If you get those hunches, listen to it. It will be in your gut. You're not crazy. Don't let nobody tell you you're crazy. Always go with your intuition. You don't need to see something. What people don't understand about intuition, it's not some taboo spiritual thing. It is literally, it comes down to quantum mechanics. There's certain types of, like, again, thoughts and emotions in this quantum field that affect all of us. If you're not paying attention, you can feel the shift in energy. You can see patterns. You can see your body is this very, very high-tech device that will pick up on certain patterns or danger within your environment, through your hair, through your skin. You'll get this eerie feeling. Do not disregard it. If you start getting intuition and you start getting that something's wrong, listen to yourself. Know thyself. Don't let nobody else gaslight you or manipulate you into thinking that you're crazy when you know what it is, regardless of what the situation is. Always trust yourself. Humans cannot be trusted. I don't trust one human alive. I have empathy for people. I listen to people. I am inspired by people, and I love people, but we are all humans. We will always try to benefit ourselves before we benefit others when we're in sticky situations. Always trust yourself. And if you can't trust yourself, or if you don't know thyself, start tapping in to knowing yourself. Know how, when you're eating, what does it do to your body? Know when you're in certain environments, how does this make me feel? Why do I feel this way? Why do I have certain patterns within my psyche? Know yourself. Get to the nitty and gritty of knowing yourself. People get in relationships and they want to learn a new person, and they want to morph into what that person is. Like, you've ever seen people who get into relationships and they're one way, but as soon as they're in that relationship, they're singing certain songs, or listening to certain artists, or eating certain foods now, or dressing a certain way, or watching certain things, or going to certain places, and it's really not them. It's because they're adapting to somebody's personality. So many people are so unauthentic these days that they don't even realize that they are literally just adapting to their environment and have no clue of who they are. Know who you are. Know what you like. Know what you don't like. Know why you act the way that you do. Know everything about yourself, because you are the only person that you are going to have until the day that you die. No person, not your children, not your parents, not your spouse, not your siblings, not your friends. Nobody will be around for forever. Anything can happen to the point where you and a person, or whether that be a child, whether that be your spouse or your parents, could fall out. You are the only person that you will have until the day that you die. If you don't know yourself, you know nothing. Stop knowing so much more about other people and not knowing enough about yourself. You won't evolve that way. People get frustrated in a certain career paths, or certain, pathways that they went down in life. Oh, I'm a doctor now, but I'm really unhappy because your parents wanted you to be a doctor. What did you like? What sparked that creative joy in you, that if you would have followed that hunch, you could have made a lot of money, because you would have been flowing from an optimum place. just knowing yourself, being authentic to who you are. Don't conform to other people's behaviors or patterns just because you like them or you inspire to be like that. Inspiration is one thing, imitation is another. Know yourself. Sit in silence. Understand your awareness and how different your awareness is from your thinking process. Those are the main things I'm going to list in this video, because there's so many more, but I just feel like if you're wanting to level up, yes, it's cool to level up in your looks and in your makeup and your hair and all that, but I'm seeing so many videos on that, leveling up to like spite a man, your ex in a relationship, or attract a provider man. And I'm just speaking from like the woman community. It is so superficial to the point where I hope in 2025 we're going from all of that superficial BS and decentering men, decentering any human being, and placing the focus on yourself. Because if you're doing anything to level up just so that you can get another person's attention, whether it's a positive or a negative one, what are you really doing it for? Are you really happy? Spiritual alignment, knowing of thyself, and a healthy body will always bring you into alignment and will always draw those opportunities to you and that creative flow without resistance. Start leveling up mentally. Start taking care of your body, because again, this is all you have. This is all you have. Your mind is all you have. Your heart is all you have. Your body is all you have. The spirit and relationship with God is all you have. Strip yourself naked and detach from this world. What do you have? Just that. If you're not taking care of that, why does it even matter what kind of clothes you have, what kind of makeup you have, how your hair looks, and your jewelry? None of that stuff matters if you're not happy within, if you're not healthy within. Let's focus on that first, and then everything else will flow. But then you'll see quickly, once you start to align spiritually and mentally, that stuff doesn't even matter. You won't care about that stuff. You will be okay with peace and fulfillment within, and everything else is just an added bonus. But that's that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and make sure that you're sharing this. I'm gonna make sure that I keep recording more videos. I want to make another video, a lot more videos, especially going into depth about the parasites and the correlation of demonic forces and the influence that we have with those, and much more that I put on here. So just make sure that you're tuned in, and I'll see you later. Peace.